everyone, Commander Stove here, and today we're going to be talking about a new series called Know Your Enemy, and the first edition is going to be on the Scythe. I'm doing this for both PvPers and merchant runners alike because it's good to know what a ship is capable of if it's fighting you, and it's good to know what a ship is capable of if you're going to want it and fly it yourself. I do not own a Scythe. I did not pay $1,200 or $1,500 for it or whatever the cost was. I am a subscriber, so I get to fly it for a little bit, and I've been flying it that way. However, through flying it, I have found that there's some misconception about dying to a Scythe. People think that there's either an exploit going on, or there's lag, or you got rammed, something like that, but it's not the case. And I'm going to explain to you what makes this ship so deadly and why you can be fighting one and everything can be going your way, it looks like, and you're going to get a kill, and then poof, you're gone. You're waking up in your bed and you're wondering what happened, right? You're scrambling to look at your video to see what happened and you can't figure it out. Well, the culprits are these two size 5 cannons. All the Scythe really is, guys, is two size 5 cannons. It's a War and a Wrath cannon, and two very big engines on it with a guy strapped in the middle, right? This is the Vanduul Scythe. It's a foot soldier ship. It's supposed to be their mass-produced ship. If you're a foot soldier for the Vanduul, this is what you get. The more experienced pilots get the glaive. The difference between the glaive and the Scythe is the glaive has 2 wings and 2 of the same cannon. That is a good thing and a bad thing. Again, the Scythe has the extra cannon that's different, the war cannon. Excuse me, and it does do a lot more damage, well, about 300, 400 more damage than the Wrath cannon. And the downside of that is that you will get 2 red circles on your screen to aim at if a target is moving fast and these don't line up correctly. They do shoot at different speeds, so there is some differential there, whereas the glaive has 2 Wrath cannons, so there's only going to be 1 target aim point to shoot at, right? But again, that is a little bit less damage because it doesn't have the war cannon on it. So we're going to take a look at the Scythe stats and see what makes it great and why those 2 cannons are actually really good. This is the Vanduul Scythe stats, as you can see here on Hardpoint. This is kind of like Eve Pytha for fitting and just showing you the stats of your ship with random fittings and modules on it. This is the stock loadout of the Scythe. A couple of important things to note is that the power efficiency is very good, but you don't want to look at this right here as a base. What you really want to look at is your ship in combat's power efficiency, and that has to do with your shields regenning. So you just scroll down here, and you're going to take your shields right here, and you're just going to pop them over to recharging. And that's going to show you really true power efficiency, right? Because in combat, you might get hit and your shields have to regen. It's going to sap a lot of power from your ship, and that's going to cause some issues. So the Scythe with that is only 64% efficient. What I recommend you do, the very first thing you do when you get into the Scythe is go ahead and turn these off. Now these are the equivalent to size 1 Omnis or M3As or whatever they are, M2As. They're not bad guns, guys. These are really, really good, but save them for a backup if you lose a wing. Okay, because that is also one of the downsides of the Scythe. It's very easy to lose one of these arms or cannons if you get clipped or something like that, and that's when these will come back into play and add that little bit of extra DPS. You can fend off one ship fine with one of these cannons. All right, it's very easily done. It still has massive DPS. You know, shooting one of these cannons is still equivalent to a couple of Omnis or better, size 3s, 4s even. So don't worry about losing a wing. Definitely turn these off though and switch these over to group 2 and then switch these over to group 1 for left click, and so you'll only fire these. But again, with shields recharging, this boosts you up to 71 efficiency, which is pretty good. Now this doesn't matter as much. You can keep these on if you're not suppressed. Some notes about this ship is that it's different than some of the other ones where usually some you might have watched my stealth mechanic video. There's a little bit more to it I've found out, and this is a little tidbit for you guys. This is new information. Shimmers on the Saber cause it to go 1800. Now I've tried putting all stops on the Saber because again, that's more shield, right? Shimmers are 1200, these are 1800. And I tried doing that just to beef up my shield on my Saber. But when you do that, you take the detection range while suppressed from 1800 to 5400, right? So putting different shields on your Saber is bad. This right here doesn't matter for the Scythe. I don't know if it's the cross section or just how it's built. Maybe it's alien technology, but it does not matter that these all stops are on there. You are going to show up at 1800 meters suppressed. That's your target triangle, by the way, for those that are wondering that. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch my stealth mechanic video, and that'll shed more light onto this subject for you. But again, this ship is unique that you can suppress this and stay into 1,800 meter detection range, which is very, very good. You can stay stealth, and it's very hard to spot and find you, okay? So that's why I do it. I stay in suppression mode, and I turn these off. And then I group these to size 1. Now I can fire these all day while suppressed. It's not a big deal, right? You're going to overclock your coolers, of course, and you're going to overclock your power supply when you get into the, your power supply when you get into the game. Overclock these, overclock this, turn this off. You are good to go. Turn suppression on, of course. Those are the very first things you should do when you get in your Scythe. The power supply is like the 5th best in the game. It's not bad at all. You don't need to really change it at all. The ACOM Starheart being the best, but again, you don't really want to change this. It's all right stock. Okay, you don't really have to change anything. You can, but again, it doesn't really add much. It gets you up to 84%, whereas the Firewall Cascade is again 71. So really nothing you need to do there. What makes this ship really good is its burst DPS, of course, and this doesn't take heat into consideration. This is what takes heat into consideration, the sustained DPS, which is still much, much higher than a lot of the ships out there, guys. Like the Hornet, for instance, it can get good burst damage because it has a lot of guns. Now, this is the equivalent to a Super Hornet because I put the extra mount on there. But again, the HP is much lower, things like that. So there's some downsides here. But this ship really has some of the best burst and sustained DPS with just these two size 5 cannons. And again, 2,500 per hit, 2,200 per hit, 3,000 shield damage, or 3,600 shield HP, I should say. One hit from these, your shields are gone. All right. Most light ships have around 3,600, 3,500, 3,400 shield HP. So that's why people think that these guns negate or shields don't deflect these guns at all, but they do. The problem is that these two plasma cannons will just eat a shield up very, very quickly, unless you're talking about a large shield like a Hammerhead or a 600i or a Starfarer or a Caterpillar or something like that. But anything else, it's only a couple hits to destroy the shield, and then depending on how much HP that ship has, that's how many hits it's going to take afterwards. For a Scythe on Scythe, for instance, if you're fighting another Scythe with a Scythe, one shot will kill the shields, another shot will put the ship into disarray and might even take off a wing, but the next shot will kill it. So it's about 3 shots to kill a Scythe in a Scythe. All these other ships, it's about 2. Even something like a Cutlass is 2. This Freelancer right here has 12,000 and 19,000, but I'll show you a clip where I shoot one in 2 shots and kill it. So again, you just got to be aware that these 2 cannons, if they hit you, you have little room for error or surviving. When you're fighting one, you cannot let one of these things hit you. If they get a good shot on you, your shields are going to disappear, and then the next shot you're dead. All right, so as soon as you're fighting one of these, my best advice to you is if you're in a circle strafe battle, first of all, don't get into a circle strafe battle with one of these. My second advice to you would be, if you are, as soon as you see one of your shield panels disappear, break away. Give him another shield panel to shoot at. That might allow you to escape and take an extra hit, but again, you cannot survive multiple hits from these cannons. It just can't happen, especially in some of the smaller ships. So, and again, what makes this ship also very good is this normal speed is 285. That's kind of like your strafe speed, by the way. So when I'm holding down A or D to strafe, this is my maximum speed, whereas a lot of other ships are at 245, 255, even 265. This allows me to get behind your guns. This allows me to circle strafe into the sweet spot of your cross section to get those good hits in. So again, circle strafing with one of these is very bad. It also is very, very quick to accelerate away, so it can break off of a fight, and it can do, it can do it all. It can boom and zoom, it can circle strafe. Escaping one of these is a test in piloting and patience, and you're going to have a really hard time if one of these is on you and they can stick on you, and especially if it's a seasoned pilot that can land these fixed weapons. That's the downside of this ship, is that they are fixed weapons. It is a very, very fast maneuverable ship, so it does take some time to get used to when you are controlling it. A lot of people don't like flying it for that reason. There's a different HUD, everything's red, so it takes some getting used to fly this ship. No one's just going to hop in this bad boy and just start killing everybody, right? It's a funky ship to fly at first. Like I said, it's a little bit quick. It can be very, very quick when you from 0 to go, which scares a lot of people. It has and can cause some aiming issues, and it takes, again, some while to get used to. So this ship, while very good, is some of the harder ships to fly in the game. I would say the Scythe and the Glaive are, but some of the most rewarding, because again, this cannon is what makes it very, very, very unique, and you should definitely try them. I'm going to show you some more clips like that first one with the Avenger Stalker, where again that guy was at full shields and he was one shot because I hit his cross section really nice. And I'm going to show you some more clips like that and what the Scythe is actually capable of in a combat situation when fighting other ships. So without further ado, I'm going to show you some of those. Thank you for watching. Okay, so this first clip is just me with a freelancer MIS I found. It doesn't look like anybody's inside. But I did take as an opportunity to go ahead and test it. I figured why not go ahead and shoot it to show off the cannons on the Scythe. One hit, shield's gone. Two hit, ship dead. And that's the power of the Scythe right there. This next clip is going to showcase what it's like when you don't have a shield. This guy is just taking off from Jump Town and I'm coming down on top of him stealth. He really doesn't see it coming, and with the long range of these guns, I end up shooting him, and all it takes is one hit because his shields are down. Now here I've scanned two ships. My buddies are on the deck fighting, and I'm going for the top one here. I don't know what it is, but I want it. I just want to intercept it because it looks like they're going to have a hard time with two. So I'm going to come down and intercept this Saber Raven, especially because it's an EMP ship, so it's priority one. And you're going to see, right when he turns this EMP back on, I see a nice dark spot in that EMP section. There it is, boom. That's what you want to look for, guys, is a nice big flat cross section. If you rewind the video there and pause it, you'll see a nice big flat dark spot appear in that EMP. That's where I knew I was coming down at an angle, and he was giving me that nice big flat surface of the Saber Raven, and both those shots connected. Now here, what's going on here is we're waiting outside of Jump Town stealth, and these two guys are going to land, or so we hope, and they set off a ping. Now, they see me as a big square, of course, so they're coming at me. And I try to back up, but I do see that they're coming for me, and I'm going to go ahead and position for an engagement. Now I'm going to let him come at me until about 4,000 meters, and I'm going to start strafing right and holding down spacebar. This is going to give me a great 45-degree angle on his fuselage. Boom, boom, and coming around again, boom. That's what you want to look for with this ship. You want to get these nice, crisp, flat angles on these ships coming in at you. So again, now we have a Scythe coming in. Now he's doing some spinning. I don't know why, but he's going to spin right into me, and he gives me the best section of a Scythe that you could possibly hit, which is those big engines, and he goes down. Now this guy again, I'm holding down strafe and I'm hitting spacebar at the same time, just trying to get a little bit of altitude on him, trying to hit that 45-degree fuselage angle, and there it is coming in. Again, freelancers have a nice big spot to shoot at. It's very juicy, and if you get the right angle, you hit it every time. This is Michael JD running from all those freelancer missiles. If you ever see Michael JD, by the way, make sure you shoot all the missiles at him. He is the missile magnet of Star Citizen, so you want to keep it that way. Run, JD! Alright, so here I'm scanning, as you should at Jump Town. There is a little red square you can see on my HUD. It means it's above me. I do notice it, and I'm going to look up. What is it? I don't know, right? I'm going to go ahead and scan it again to make sure it's still coming. And there it is, 22 away. And this will show you the closing distance and speed on this ship. From distance, this ship can kick into high gear and get there very quickly. Again, I don't see the ship yet, and you're not going to until he's right on top of me, because he is also stealth. And there he goes. So we both saw each other basically right when we flew by. We're coming around on each other now, and we're going to engage. I'm frantically trying to shoot him here. I know the EMP's coming. I want to get it done before the EMP goes off. I know I'm only one shot away from killing this guy. Unfortunately, the ESP was kind of bouncing me around there. And I know that he's going to EMP, so I quickly roll out of that pass to try to break away from him, and then I come back around because I know he's below me. Kind of like a reverse yo-yo. And he does get off that EMP that I was so worried about. However, if you remain calm, you know how to defeat it, you can. I just hit number 8 on the keyboard there. My ship is turning back on. My engine's cut back on right now. And now I'm going to turn and bear my guns down on him because I know he's coming in for a pass, and whoever shoots first here is likely going to get a good hit, and bam, I end up hitting him first because he did give me that straight pass, and I strafed a little bit to the side there and got that nice 35, 45 degree angle on his fuselage and was able to connect those guns. So here I'm scanning again. This is his court mate. He's coming in and reported. This guy swears up and down I ran it. Again, I know that he's coming in for a pass, so I'm strafing. At this point in time, I'm just strafing and turning. I'm letting him do all the work. And this guy's going to outmaneuver himself a lot, trying to run from my guns. So he's not going to be able to connect with any of these hits. As I saw there, I was about to hit the deck, so I rotated my ship around real quick. And now, as you can see, I'm really just kind of going slow and letting him do the passes, and I'm just kind of turning. I'm just kind of getting my bearings on him, and I wait for this nice, flat, juicy target. He's going into a flat spin for some reason. I have no idea what he's doing, but he shows me all of his ship, and I just rotate around again, and flat section, boom. So that's what you're looking for. The Scythe is so maneuverable. If you go back and watch that, all I really did to do that was hit D and strafe downwards while turning my mouse to the left, and that's how fast that thing can turn around your ship right there. So it's very, very quick when it circle strafes. You don't want to try to get into a circle strafe engagement with one of these if you're not sure of yourself or if you have poor aim. If the other pilot in the Scythe has any bit of experience, he's probably going to knock you out in a couple of shots, and you don't want to let him line up these shots. You don't want to let him turn into you and get on that inside. So here he's bringing back a Vanduul Scythe, same guy. He feels like, hey, I have a Scythe too. I pay $20 a month, and I can kill you with it. So he's going to come in, and we're going to get into a nice turn fight. And again, I'm pushing the ship right now to its limits. I do have my pinky slammed on shift, and I am in a strafe battle because I'm trying to get under his Scythe's guns. I'm trying to make him shoot a lot because I do notice that he's shooting all 4 cannons instead of just the 2. So he's going to overheat, and you saw him overlapping there his shots. That's because he was overheating bad, and he wasn't able to place his shots on my ship because of that. So it's all about knowing when your ship's going to overheat and not overheating those guns, guys, because that'll really mess you up, especially if you have 2 different guns. This ship right here is just a Black Cutlass. He kind of came in on me as I was trying to warp away, and again, I thought it was a good showcasing of, hey, 2 shots to a Cutlass, and it's done. And this is actually a pretty good fight. Now this guy, he engages me as I'm leaving Grim Hex, so I dip back into the Armistice to get my shields back on and go to look for him, and he's in an Anvil Hornet. And so I'm going to go ahead and engage this guy. However, the difference is this guy actually knows what to do against a Scythe, and he's making good cuts, and he's also spinning his ship at the same time, and you'll see that in a second, making me very hard to get hits. As you see there, I run into the chain because I don't see it, making a beeline for him. And so now we're going to go into this turn fight, and I'm pretty confident now that I saw what guns he was using. I saw that he was using those Gatling guns, so I was like, hey, you know, those are pretty weak. He's got to keep those on target for a long time to kill me, and I'm pretty sure that I can outmaneuver him. However, he was also doing the same. He was cutting inside real close and shallow, and he was also doing kind of S cuts. He would cut back a little bit too every time I would hit him. So right there I hit him, but he's not going to let me bear those guns down on that one shield. He's going to turn his ship towards me, as you see there. He turned his front towards me. That was a side hit. So he's making sure that his front shield's towards me. Now he's going to deke back around and let that shield reverse, and he's going to come back on my other side. So now I have 2 fresh shields to shoot at. And now he's going to cut around clockwise on me. And this guy, he's going to keep doing this, and for a long, long time, we go into a turn engagement, and you know, sometimes you're just evenly matched. Sometimes you don't get what you want, and we both realize this, and he's going to break away from this engagement. And it just shows you how to break away from a Scythe, because he does it really, really well. He puts me into a turn battle, and then he's going to slow me down to almost negative speeds and just take off here to the asteroid field, and I can't catch him anymore. He takes a break for it, and he knows he's going to get away because he has so much distance on me, and then he'll zip back in towards Grim Hex. Now he's getting flustered. I can tell this because he's shooting all the missiles. He who shoots missiles first in a turn fight, usually a little bit flustered. Now I am using countermeasures. I have a voice attack macro that if I just say a command every 1.5 to 2 seconds, it's going to start spitting out flare for 6 times or shaft for 6 times, whatever I have it on, and I can change that with rolling my middle mouse button back. Unfortunately, there's a display bug right now where it shows that they're not popping, but I am saying those commands, and they are being used. So don't think that I'm not using flares here and I'm just dodging missiles. I am outrunning some of them, but for the most part I do spam flares and shaft on these when he starts to unleash them. And I do return the favor by shooting all 8 at him, because if you shoot all your missiles at me, I'm going to shoot them back and see what you can do about them. And again, we're just in a turn fight. This is us. So he's going to realize that this is just kind of futile. We're not going to be able to hit each other. I'm having a hard time hitting him for whatever reason it is. I just cannot seem, and it looks like the pips are almost there. Now some of them are off clearly, but some of them are really, really close, and I feel like they should hit. But again, if you look at his HUD, or his ship on my HUD, you can see how he spins his ship to get away from me and get away from those shots. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose or if he's a joystick user, and joystick users just have a habit of spinning their ship because it's awesome and it's immersive and looks cool and feels cool. But he does break away from me here, as you can see, very quickly. He throws on that afterburner and gets out of dodge. He doesn't want to fight anymore, and he is going to go back to Grim Hex. And that's going to conclude the video. If you enjoyed this series, please like and subscribe, and we'll do more. If you have any recommendations on the next Know Your Enemy ship, if any ships you want to see or want to showcase, just let me know in the chat below, and we'll do a little poll, and we'll do another ship here shortly next week. So again, thank you for watching. This has been Know Your Enemy series, Scythe, from Commander Stowe. Bye-bye, guys.